Norwich, a fine city, famous for Coleman's mustard, Delia Smith and Alan Partridge, but not, up until now, for being a multicultural hotspot. People tend to think of Norwich as rural, provincial and predominantly white. But actually, over the last few decades, Norwich has become rapidly more diverse. People come here from all over the world and for many different reasons. Some come to study and then to work.
I arrived in Norwich 3 years ago because I would like to study in UEA.
I came from Pakistan last year, 2010. I came to Norwich. My purpose of coming to Norwich was higher education.
Some come for love.
I am from Russia and I'm married Englishman, and I came to Norwich, to Norfolk 9 years ago.
I came to Norwich 20 years ago because I married my husband.
Some come because they're fleeing persecution in their homeland.
So unfortunately for me, I'm one of these guys that was snatched and made into child soldiers. That's really why I'm here.
It takes a lot of bravery to leave the place you were born, to build a new life for yourself in a foreign country. People who come to Norwich invariably face a lot of challenges in trying to establish themselves, one of which is getting used to a whole new culture and climate.
In my childhood, I read a story, Alice in a Wonderland. So when I came to Norwich. Norwich was totally a wonder place for me. The reason was that the first thing challenge I faced was cultural shock. Clothes was different, people were different, language was quite different, attitude and everything was different. So the first thing I experienced that was cultural shock.
Everything is strange for us in Hong Kong. Our flat is a small flat with 2 rooms, but in here is a detached house. How to manage the rooms, how to manage the garden, and how to manage the central heating. Everything is new for me. It's very exciting and upset as well.
I think it depends on the country where people are from, so they can face different kinds of difficulties or problems or issues. And in relation to me, I can say that maybe, well, there were issues related, practical things related to the weather, of course, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe the food and the lifestyle, especially the lifestyle, the fact that probably where I'm from, people they spend more time together in groups, and also the family is a very strong value. So probably this can be one of the big differences.
The acceptance of our weather is not easy for an awful lot of people. The acceptance of our food, that not everybody likes Norfolk dumplings.
And these problems can be heightened when people are not able to communicate with those around them.
I think that in general, establishing yourself in another country is hard. It's not easy. And obviously, if there's a language barrier at any level, that makes it even harder to be part of the community.
For living in UK, the first main difficulty is the language. For me, at first I come here, I can't tell, or maybe I cannot say a whole sentence.
Living in UK, living in Norwich is a totally different. Life is using English rather than Chinese, and so the English speaking, we have to listen very carefully, and in my mind have to translate from Chinese to English, so that's it, language barrier, of course.
People can also be subject to discrimination or racial harassment.
Listen, Only when I came to Norwich, my friend, did I realize that if you're not Norwegian, you figure that out.
Let me tell you, I have taken a beating, a serious beating on the street. I took a barrage of punches on my head. I was just playing music.
Damn!
Another time, taxi drivers were bullying me because I had no right to be playing on the street. I'm sponging off the British economy.
It can indeed be very difficult to be a foreigner, and these challenges can have a huge impact on mental health and well-being. That's why, for the last 3 years, the Norwich Mind Inclusion Project has been working with black and minority ethnic communities across Norwich to try and find pathways through these difficulties. One of the ways in which we do this is through the provision of free English for speakers of other languages, or A.I.C classes.
I have been very fortunate to work with inclusion because I have met many people from many countries, all different people, but at the same time all very eager to learn. I have seen people come at the beginning very shy, very nervous, not knowing exactly how English works, because the English language can be quite difficult for some speakers of other languages. And just going out there and saying, I used this, I understood, I could speak to my neighbor, I could read some signs, you know, I could go to the shops and exchange a few words with people, and that is life-changing for them. So I think it's important. This project is really important for people.
Free English lessons, what is a great help for the Bulgarians or for the newcomers, the people who struggle with the language. They don't have work, they're lonely, they're isolated. Everything somehow was not sorted out, but it was a great help from inclusion team for these people.
Language is a big thing, and obviously the number of people that we get, it probably means that provision elsewhere, you know, the service providers are not, you know, they're not that successful in giving a service that is accessible to the type of clients that we reach.
We have also provided complementary and talking therapies for our clients, which we have found to be immensely useful.
Life coaching, counselling, alternative therapies, they all seem to be very, very valuable services to offer to people who probably culturally may come from a tradition where this is more part of their lives than we have in the West, where this kind of approach is seen as a bit of a luxury, as a bit of a treat, and people kind of, you know, if you have the money, you go and have a massage at a spa, while probably certainly clients coming from the East and even many coming from Africa, from practices that kind of help people with something that is not verbal, it's not talking about stuff, it's just simply communicating and reassuring and giving comfort in other ways.
When I'm working with any form of natural therapy, holistic, okay, it encourages the calmness that I need. I have learned to deal with my stress. Not that it goes away, but I cope with it. I can work with it. It's helped me to be able to communicate no matter what the difficulties, to lift my own burden and know that I too can fix up myself with just a little help from somewhere.
I came and visited Norwich Mind and talked to a lady. She told me everything in the detail, and then I selected the metamorphic technique in order to, you can say, lessen the depression and the problem of isolation. There was a lady, her name was, I think Tipori. She gave me those therapies regarding to metamorphic. She was one of the most, I think, beautiful women I meet in Norwich. She was very kind. She gave me the therapy. She tried to solve my issues. I discussed my personal problems and the problems in the environment with her. She suggested me, she gave me a very good tips and beauty secrets. And that lady and that therapy really helped me to again increase my self-confidence and self-esteem. So this was very useful.
We also offer one-to-one casework to deal with a wide range of issues and provide our clients with information and signposting.
We have Russian community school, and I get a lot of help from Norwich Mind, because I didn't know which sort of grant we could apply or how we'll survive. And I got a lot of help from Norwich Mind, and she really tries to help me every now and again, whatever question I have, whatever problem I have. And I'm very grateful to Norwich Mind, really. And they help me to organize how we can do it and what sort of things we can do it, and to keep our Russian culture.
Due to the continuous isolation from my family and new environment, I was a little bit depressed. And what I did, I take a solution of these all problems in eating and overeating. So my main problem was last year, overeating and health issues. As soon as I sent an email, I got a very, you can say, quick feedback from Norwich Mind, and then I become the member of Norwich Mind Inclusion. I personally asked more specific option that was a kind of a health trainer, and in order to manage my health. The health trainer, first of all, she discussed with me about my diet, what is my diet, what are my eating habits. Then she recommended me a journal on the daily basis. I have to write what I am eating. Her suggestions really helped me in weight loss. From last year up till now, she recommended me a very good boxing fit class where I go once in a week. So overall, these both my major problems or issues which I was facing here in Norwich is resolved by the help of inclusion in Norwich Mind.
Many inclusion clients are also volunteers and strongly involved in their local communities.
I think a volunteering for inclusion project has been very important for me because when you're from another country, even though you have work experience, even though you are educated, you had the possibility to go to university, when you are in another country, you might not have much confidence in yourself because you didn't experience yourself in the other country, in the other reality. So working and volunteering for Inclusion Mind has been important for me because I started to get involved with the reality and I started to work and to feel kind of useful for people.
Inclusion project somehow gave me a confidence and ensure me that I can actually help the other people. So in this belief in mind, we started a Bulgarian Bulgarian community group, and we started helping each other with the help of mind. We meet regularly, we help each other, and the most important thing maybe for the Bulgarians is that they started using the services of Inclusion Project.
Inclusion also hosts regular workshops and events, which give clients a chance to learn new skills, find out about other cultures, and celebrate the diversity of the local community. The biggest of these events is the annual Festival of Cultures, which last year won the EDP Award for Community Event of the Year.
We have the festival once a year, and in the building, the back here, and the lawn has many, many colours of the people, the costumes, the drama, the music, and the culture.
Beings of all cultures.
Cosmopolitan, my friend, cosmopolitan.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm telling it for you. Go on.
And for me, that was the best festival I have ever been in all my life.
The real benefit of events like these is that they bring people from all over the world together and foster a spirit of dialogue and culture exchange so that we all learn to become more culturally aware.
I think I have just wider life, that I meet all sorts of people and who with different culture, and I'm learning a lot from all these meetings, from festivals, and it just gives me so many things that I never knew before, and I would never know. But I think it's great things when Norwich Mind put all these sort of different people together, and we learn from each other.
And we, with the relationship with the Norwich Mind, the inclusive team, can open our mind, because we outreach to so many different country people, and we can help each other, and we know more about the minority group.
I think inclusion is a real platform for the people of diverse race, culture. They come here and they do a kind of social networking. When I came here, I was quite isolated. I was having some problem with making different new friends. I think I was scared to talk to the new people. But in this kind of networking which provides by Norwich Mind or inclusion, they help you to understand the things, understand the other culture, other philosophy, may do a positive kind of a networking. I was having few friends, now I'm having many international friends.
Over the last 3 years, there has been an overwhelmingly positive response to the unique service that inclusion provides. And it has become clear that there is a real need for a culturally sensitive service that responds to people as individuals. Long may it continue.
What makes it special is that it's it's not the same for everybody. It gives each service user, each person who comes in touch, the freedom to choose in which way they like to see progress in their life.
There's a whole range of needs that can be met through Mind's inclusion team. They've developed a very open and honest network of including, and they're always open to suggestions, ideas, how we can broaden the experience for people to settle and to have a long and happy life in Norfolk.
For the sake of having a bit of a constructive, peaceful direction, when you're strained mentally, there's things that we all go through in life, you know what I mean? And it's worth checking these dudes, because like I say, you will get to know these dudes personally, get to value their personal intervention in trying to assist you to just be aware that you actually count.
When you have mental problems, don't suffer in silence. Come to 50 Cell Road, okay? There is a place called Mind. People will generally give attention to your problems.
I do believe that it's a great value of the project. I would like to see continuation of the project, maybe not forever, but at the moment I think Norwich needs a project like inclusion to help the people, so many newcomers from all over the world, and it is a real help, and people really need real help.